Hello, hello. How are you making out today? It's kind of rainy and have sunshiny all of a sudden and all over the place. I don't know where that blue sky came from, but I must be manifesting it there out my sunroof. So today I wanted to talk about what do you love and what lights you up. So some of you may not know a lot about me, but my background is in engineering, computer engineering, and phones. I did phone systems for a lot of my life and do IT work for people to pay my bills when it permits it. And I love the precision of creating something, building something, connecting something, and then you know at the end that it works because you can test it. You can press the buttons and see the phone ring and make sure the voicemail shows up and all that kind of stuff. That part lights me up. But in the meantime, there's also a period of social interaction and other things with other people that sometimes doesn't light me up nearly as much because people don't know how to follow instructions. I'm very detail oriented. I'm a perfectionist in some ways, but because not so much that I get angry at people, but it's an art form to me to make a phone system go on the wall and make all the wires line up and have all the phones and pre-label it and make it all work. And if you do everything right, you turn it on and it works. And it just makes me buzz to have myself go put through a system of trying to do a whole bunch of menial tasks like punch wires and make the phone lines go different places, make the phones each work, and it lights me up. So what in your world lights you up? Creating something, doing something for other people, showing a value, showing that you have knowledge that other people don't have, sharing it. What lights you up? So another thing that lights me up is the stuff that I teach about awakening people. And I went to go get some massage sheets today for my massage table. Found a really good deal. And ended up having this 40-minute long conversation with her about her modality and my modality and what the differences are. And she hadn't done Reiki. She hadn't done all this kind of stuff. And that's okay. But when I started talking to her, she was doing a form of Reiki already. Her hands were going where the energy called. She was moving energy through her hands, etc. So that lit both of us up because we were talking about things that were cool to us and finding other people that aligned. And that's what it's all about, is finding people in your world that line up. Sorry, the traffic got a little interesting. That light you up. And I'm seeing it more and more and more nowadays. I went to buy something else off Facebook Marketplace from a guy, and we ended up talking about his girlfriend that was a dog trainer, and he had this disclaimer under his name on Facebook, and I asked him about it, and he says, my boss demanded that I did that because I was talking bad about Kenny, and my boss said he's going to have to fire me if I put these things out. And it was so funny just to hear him talk. He was talking truth, but he had so much passion about his life and what he did and the feelings he thought. And I'm finding this more and more often now. As I get more and more in my passion, as I get more and more in my excitement, as I get more and more in what I love, people that light me up show up. So is this happening for you? Are you talking about what you love? Some of the stuff I teach, that awakening stuff, there's sexuality involved in it, and that sometimes scares people away. But to move our most creative, most powerful energy in our bodies and to teach people how to use it in new ways, there's nothing shameful about that. There's nothing scary about that. So I'm talking more and more about it. I have the ability to guide people through, and this isn't touch. This is just discussion sometimes. This is getting them to do homework by themselves, other things where we talk through how their personal sexuality is, how they pleasure, and how pleasure feels in their body, whether or not they're even feeling is huge questions that will open a person in magnetic, beautiful, mystical ways. And I love doing that. And this is what I'm called here to do, is to share this passion with other people, show them there's no shame in it, no guilt in it, and light up and smile and know that you got somebody to see themselves in a new and beautiful way. And you can't get much better than that in my thoughts. We can sit and we can heal people and we can help people, but to guide them through an exploration of something that might be traumatic or shameful, and to keep it beautifully sincere, beautifully in integrity, it's just amazing, because so few people can do it. So these are things I'm going to talk about more. These are things that I want to share with people. I'm going to talk openly about them. And if that's an area that's scary for you or whatever, go look at it at some other time when it maybe feels more resonant. But I can't stop anymore. I can't hold myself back, because this is the stuff I want to share with people all day long. And they're going to love it. The light's going to shine from all of us. And amazingness happens. So, and what's your passion? What lights you up? What's the thing that will make you buzz all day long? State it out loud. If you don't want to do it in front of your friends, just do it on the bottom of this video and just say, hey, I love to do this. And that's a start. Thank you, Mom. I love you too. What's lighting us up? I know for my mother, speaking of her grandchildren light her up. So we try and get the grandchildren out and have them together and get them to play cards and have fun and all that kind of stuff. These are the things that we welcome into our life and we build around, and ease and grace shows up, magic shows up. We are our true self in that moment. We're not holding back. We're not worried what other people are going to think. We're not hiding, whatever you want to call it. We're stating it, asking for it, bringing it into our life and saying, I want more of this. I want more people that are open and want to talk about this stuff. And I will talk for hours, and it'll be the most magical sharing of grace and peace and love in that openness. And once people get free and open about what their wants are and their desires, and they speak it into the world, they share it with another. That doesn't mean that other is the one that gives it, but the more we can talk about it, the more we can shine about it, the more we can be open about it, those things start showing up in our world. And we need a lot of it right now. The stuff that gives us chills and beautiful smiles. Look at me. I'm all lit up because I'm talking about what I love and what I want and what I want to share with the world. Being helpful, generous to people who haven't got what I have. And that's very minimal. Homeless children. It's all beautiful. Thank you, Shaza, for sharing that. And Mom, I'm driving back home after doing a project in the northwest of Calgary. So we are now in this glorious place where it's finally okay. We can finally step out without being scared or worried or any of that kind of stuff, and our magic begins. So start talking about it, please. And I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to talk to you about it. I'd love to hear what everybody else wants and desires. And then we share that with people. And if it's like, oh, you love doing that, and I find somebody that wants that or needs that or loves doing it, we connect it. And then more and more people are having it. And we build a community of people that are on the same wavelength, in the same passions, and the same excitements. And then magic happens. Magic happens. So that's what my statement is here today. Start talking about it. Share it to the world. And let's see. And if somebody shames you or makes you feel uncomfortable, let's talk about that too. Because sometimes people are not sure that it's okay to want what they want. They're not sure it's safe to talk about it with other people. Or maybe they got whacked in the forehead a couple times, or somebody traumatized them back, or whatever. Well, here's a safe place. You can talk about anything. You can want anything here. As long as it's not a harming of the people in any way, shape, or form, it's good. And sometimes even our traumas can be harming to people. But as long as we're doing it from a place of loving one another, thinking we're in self-love, that's the process. We end up lining up with people that align. So thank you. I lit up your world, Mom. Thank you. And hi to you, Kathy. And this is the new way, the new life. Start smiling, start loving it. Let's see what we can create together. So step into your passion. I am. Talk to you soon. I love you all. See you. Bye. Driver MacGyver.